Welcome back, everyone. I'm Big Jim. Welcome to Big Jim's Kitchen. This channel is dedicated to showing you how to cook various recipes that I've learned over the years. Some easy, some difficult. And today's recipe is going to be relatively easy, but you're going to need some special equipment for it. Namely, a smoker, because today we're doing smoked chicken. And what you're going to need for this is obviously a smoker. I'll show you that later. But you have your chicken. You're going to be seasoning it with some lemon pepper, similar to what you'll get at rotisserie in the store. Going to utilize a rubber glove, mostly so I don't get my hand dirty when I'm rubbing on the seasoning. Also going to be using an injectable. And since it's going to be in a smoker, I'm not going to brine it. I'm just going to let this marinate overnight. Going to use a chicken stock spritz. So roughly every hour, open up the door and go squirt, squirt, squirt. Make sure the chicken is moist. And also some olive oil to help make sure that the seasoning sticks to the chicken. Now, let's get cooking. All right now, so we're going to begin with going ahead and adding some seasoning to the bird. Easiest way to do it to make it stick is go ahead and add some olive oil to it. So, going to add some of the seasoning in this little container. That should be good for the most part. We can always add more later. Then top it off with some olive oil, not too much. Rubber glove comes in handy in this case, so stir it up a bit. Now it's time to start adding to the bird. Go ahead and apply it liberally. Get it all over the place. Okay, now we're at the part where we can go ahead and start using the turkey injector. Well, it is a turkey injector, but I'm using this for the chicken. So, not really going to do the back side here. I'm just going to do the top. Reason being is because when it's going to be in the smoker, it is going to be this side up, breast side up. Reason being, because that's where I'm going to stick my meat probe and make sure the temperature is good. The reason why I am pouring this into this container is because the injector needle will only go so far down into this container before, well, you just can't suck any more out. So, put this in the container and it's a lot easier to get the needle in there and withdraw it. So, one thing I left out, before you go ahead and start injecting it, go ahead and put this into a container. Gonna want a pan like this to let marinate overnight. So, go ahead and bring this inside the container. Now, go ahead and take your injector, and sometimes you just want to do it directly under the skin. But since this is going to be smoked, I'm going to want to do this deep tissue. So shove it a little further in than you normally would. And put a little bit in there. Move down to the leg, or basically just go ahead and poke it all over. Try to avoid hitting the bone. Get some more. One thing you do have to keep in mind when you're doing this is going to be releasing a lot of juices because there's plenty of holes in the skin, so you just got to watch out for that, especially when you start smoking it and doing the spritz. All right, we are done with the turkey injector, excuse me again. the chicken injector. We got it all seasoned. Now, all that's left to do is cover this up in tin foil and toss it in the fridge overnight. And then tomorrow, we'll go ahead and put it in the smoker.
And it's the next day. The chicken has been marinating overnight. And now we're going to get the smoker prepped. I'm using a Traeger Pro Series Pit Boss. And we're going to go ahead and preheat this to 250 degrees. So push this in, turn it. Press it again to lock it in. And now it's going to go ahead and preheat. We're going to go ahead and give it about 10-15 minutes.
All right, everyone. The chicken's been marinating overnight. The smoker is just about to the correct temperature. Let's go ahead and check these birds out. Put them on the grate. We are going to be using these meat probes shoved into the deepest part of the chicken breast to get the best and most accurate reading of the temperature. A little breezy, so let's get this around here. Look at that. That is beautiful, and I'm sure it's going to be completely delicious. Let me untangle these wires a little bit. And for this, I shall go in to this part, into the deepest, thickest part of the breast. Now for this other one. And the same thing. Adjust these a little bit better. As like that, I can go ahead and take my gloves off and park these babies into the smoker. As you can see, right next to the main temperature, we have these two little circles on the right showing you the heat of both of the birds. All right, everyone, we are an hour into this smoke. Currently, one of the chickens is 112 degrees, the other one's at 111. We're gonna be pulling these things out when they hit 165. Now, it's time for a spritz, and this spritz is full of chicken stock. So we do this spritz to help keep it moist. It's an actual requirement because we have a lot of water in here, but oops, let me adjust this. More of a, there we go. That's all you need. Close it back up. All right, everyone, we're back, and the meat probes are telling us that our chicken is done, 165. So let's go ahead and pull it out. See how these birds look. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. Make sure you have some nice handy dandy heat resistant gloves. These are from Kitchen Perfection. They work real nice. So I'm just going to pull the meat probe out, set it to the side. Same thing for this other one. Oh, look at that goodness just dripping out of there. Oh, these birds are so juicy. Ah, looky there. All right, so give these things a little bit of time to cool off so we can do a taste test. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we actually dig in, I wanted to have a better look at how these beauties turned out. Can't really tell, but these things are just completely dripping with juice. As a matter of fact, you can see a little bit right there. It's still oozing out. I cannot wait to try this smoked perfection. All right, everyone. I've given this time to cool off a bit, and now we're gonna try this baby out. I'm hoping it's fall off the bone, but if not, got a nice trusty knife. A little tough skin, then it is smoked. And the knife down here. Ooh, look at that juiciness. That is pretty. Get a piece here. Oh God, that is good. Wow. The seasoning on the skin is really good, but what really makes this is the injector that I used. So this is amazing.